Okay, so today we're gonna take a deep dive into this blog post called "Lunarize Find the One,"
Right.
and it's a pretty fascinating story. So, Lunarize, the author, had like a pretty tough family life growing up and
Right.
a string of relationships that didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
But she really believes she's found the one now. So we're going
Yeah.
to take a look at how she went from like all of that chaos to, you know, really believing that she's found lasting love.
That's a really common story, I think. A lot of people think that if they just find that right person,
Yeah,
all their problems will be fixed, especially if they didn't, have the best example growing up of what a healthy relationship is supposed to look like.
right. Like the right person will just wipe the slate clean.
Exactly.
But Lunarize learned that's not how it works.
Right.
She actually kind of kept finding herself in the same kinds of relationships that she saw growing up.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense, right? Like, we're all drawn to what's familiar, even if it's not good for us. It's like subconsciously we end up repeating the same patterns, even if they're toxic patterns.
Hmm.
And for Lunarize, that meant she was attracted to partners who didn't treat her well.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I guess you could say she had to break free from those old patterns before she could find a healthy relationship.
Exactly.
There was a moment, it sounds like, where she realized that she was repeating those patterns.
Yeah.
It was after a breakup, right?
Yeah, a pretty bad breakup. And I think that was kind of a turning point for her. She decided to do something that I think is really powerful symbolically.
Oh, really?
She got rid of everything from that relationship, like literally everything. The engagement ring, a necklace he gave her, pictures, everything.
Oh, yeah.
It was like she was saying, okay, I'm done with this. I'm not going to let this define me anymore.
I can only imagine how freeing that must have felt.
Right. Like physically getting rid of those objects helped her to let go of the past. And then, she could start focusing on herself.
So then what? What did she do next?
So she started this journey of, self-discovery and self-love, which is, so important. Before you can be in a healthy relationship with someone else, you have to have a good relationship with yourself, right?
Absolutely.
But she wasn't always into these kinds of things like the law of attraction and stuff like that.
Right.
It was her desire to find real love, I think, that made her open to these new ideas.
Okay, so for anyone who's not familiar with the law of attraction, it's the idea that what you focus on expands. So, like, if you're constantly thinking negative thoughts, you're going to attract more negativity into your life.
Yeah.
But if you focus on positive things, you're more likely to attract positive experiences.
Exactly. It's like, you start thinking about wanting a certain kind of car, and then suddenly you see that car everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so how did Lunarize use this to find the one? Did she, like, make a vision board or something?
Kinda. She got really clear on the qualities she wanted in a partner, like, someone who was respectful and emotionally intelligent, someone who could make her laugh. She really visualized being with this person.
Okay, but how do we know it wasn't just a coincidence? Like, maybe she would have met her husband anyway, even without all of this, law of attraction stuff.
Well, I think it's important to remember that the law of attraction isn't just about, wishing for things. You have to, do the work too. Lunarize, she spent time working on herself. She challenged her limiting beliefs and forgave herself for past mistakes. She really built up her self-esteem, and I think all of that made her more likely to attract a healthy partner.
So basically, she got rid of her old baggage and started putting out a new vibe into the world.
Yeah. And get this, the same year that she did all of this, worked on herself, started really believing she could find true love, she met her husband while traveling.
No way.
Yeah.
And he was everything she was looking for.
Totally. It was almost like she manifested him into her life.
That's incredible. It really does make you think about, the power of our thoughts and beliefs.
Right. If we can learn to let go of the past and, really believe in ourselves and what we deserve, we can attract amazing things into our lives.
So to wrap things up, I think the big takeaway from Lunarize's story is that finding the one isn't just about luck. It's about doing the inner work so that you're ready for a healthy relationship.
Exactly.
So for our listeners out there, what old patterns might you be holding on to that could be blocking you from finding love? What can you do to rewrite your own story? It's definitely something to think about.
It is.
Maybe it's time to let go of the past and start focusing on what you truly desire.
Yeah, I think that's great advice for everyone.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today.
It was great talking about this.
Yeah.
Always interesting to think about these things.
Until next time.
See ya.